There was a little boy on a warm sunny morning playing with all of his friends. They were in a huge green grassy park. He was a kind boy. He could hear a new best fire engine coming from out of the bright red fire station. He knew that his older sister liked to rescue young boys from hot, smoky fires. He was scared because he didn't want his strong, brave sister to get burned when she went to the fire. That night the boy laughed with his big sister because she had to rescue their bigger brother out of a tall, old tree. There was a tall, happy woman in a cold forest filled with bright, colourful trees. She was feeding the bad, noisy ducks. The ducks didn't go quack, 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 quack. They went woof, 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 all day long. The kind woman was feeding the naughty ducks to stop them from making such a horrible, scratchy noise. She gave them crusty white bread, but they still said Then she gave them sweet, meaty dog food and good books to read. They went quiet and said, quack, 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 quack. There was a happy, tall girl. She was in a big, rainy tower. It was rainy because the round ceiling was broken. She wanted to go to the wide seaside, and she wanted to go on the hard, squeaky seesaw. She saw a short starfish made out of soft rock. She felt as sad as someone who had fallen over and cut their nose. She could hear the loud barking of a black and white spotty dog. The poor dog was tied to a circular piece of soft plastic. It was the same size as the hole in the roof. She grabbed it and took it home and put it into the round roof. She lived happily ever after and dry with the spotty dog.
I hear thunder, hark don't you, hark don't you.
There was a fat man with a long pink beard and spiky black hair. He was stretching as high as he could to look out of the crossed open window at the top of a huge building in the middle of New York City. The wind was so hot and rainy that it made a bright colourful round rainbow in the sky. He brushed his short hair, and when he looked into a huge rectangular mirror, his hair was all different colours. "Where has all of my beautiful black hair gone?" He laughed and laughed like a bald monkey. I'm going to sing my rainbow song. It's not very short and it won't take long. It's as red as a rose, it's as orange as a leaf on an autumn day. I'm going to sing my rainbow song. It's not very short, it won't take long. It's as yellow as the sun, it's as green as the grass on a summer holiday. I'm going to sing my rainbow song. It's not very short and it won't take long. It's as blue as the sea, it's as purple as a bruise when I fall and cut my knee. I'm going to sing my rainbow song. It's not very short and it won't take long. It's as red as a rose, It's as orange as a leaf, it's as yellow as the sun, it's as green as the grass, it's as blue as the sea, it's as purple as a bruise when I fall and cut my knee. I'm going to sing my rainbow song. It's not very short and it didn't take long. The spiky-haired girl could hear the rain and the thunder. It was like a bear stamping in the woods. The water went into the sweet water of the river. The dark sea was sometimes quiet, but the girl was trying to get rid of all of the birds, the ducks and animals. Now the sea sounded like a train with the wind blowing angrily in the air. She had stolen diamonds from out of a square box. Her mother could hear the flowers and the singing birds as they talked to each other, and the horses walked on the side of the sea. Her mother did not want her daughter to go out again. She wanted her to stay at home for all of the bad things that she had done. In the square park, the happy, strong man with the large muscles was waiting to meet his friends. The rain was falling and the waves were swirling. The small birds and all of the little birds were saying, "How do you do? How do you do? How do you do? How do you do?" They were coming close to him and wanting to shake his big hands. Chimney smoke was going up into the air and he could hear his family clapping. He played guitar for them, and he thought that they liked it. He had won a golden trophy, and now the wheels of the train were turning. How do you do? 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 Once upon a fantastic time, there was a tall girl with long, straight yellow hair who loved to climb trees outside of her house. Her bright, round blue eyes sparkled as she made her way back into the kitchen. She was so hungry after having climbed and run all over the beautiful countryside that she wanted to have something to eat. Her mother had always told her that she should eat sensibly, and she knew that she could have some of the things in the special healthy cupboard in the kitchen. In no time at all, she had made a full, steaming bowl of sweet, creamy porridge and a plate of juicy, crunchy carrots. These were the things that she liked to eat more than anything in the world. She liked to try and eat at least a rainbow of food every single day. And with the carrots, she had orange, and with the porridge, she had a whole bowl of sweet white food. The huge smile below her small triangular nose was always there. Even when she had fallen out of the broken oak tree and ripped her light blue cardigan, she still kept smiling and rubbed her long broad hands over her new skirt, picked herself up, and brushed some dirt from her flowery shoes. While she had been eating, thick, spidery snowflakes fell against the wide window pane, and she was so excited that the grin on her face grew, as big as the sky on her face, because she loved the snow better than her birthday. When her mother came in and saw that she had eaten carrots and porridge, she laughed out loud. "Oh, what are you like? I know I ask you to eat sensibly, but porridge and carrots, what a mixture!" Her mother was still laughing as she passed her daughter a long, bent, yellow banana. "At least with this, you'll have something as yellow as the sun when you go out again." She knew she would be out in the heavy banks of snow before you could say, "Be back in time for tea." Outside, the snow lay like a fine blanket over the whole of the ground, and everything glistened with ice and frost. It almost hurt her eyes, and she didn't really look as she swung herself up onto a strong bough of an ancient tree by the back wall of their enormous garden. Even though she had just eaten, She felt hungry again and quickly reached for the banana in the pocket of her old cardigan. She jumped in surprise when she felt a hairy hand in the pocket. She was even more surprised when she saw a small brown hairy arm attached to the small leathery hand. She yelled out loud when she realised there was a monkey in the tree with her, and it had stolen her banana. She spoke to the monkey as if it were a human being. "What are you doing here?" But as you know, monkeys can't talk, and this one had its mouth full of her banana. The monkey's voice was small and frightened, and it leapt into her arms when it saw a prickly hedgehog creeping and crawling amongst the deep snow on the ground beneath them. The girl was kind and thoughtful and loved animals as much as she loved the snow. "Oh, I'll tell you what we'll do. If you're so hungry, I'll take you home and give you something to eat. And maybe my mum will take you back to the zoo. That's where you really belong." It was almost as if the monkey could understand what was being said, and it slowly snuggled into the warmth of her cardigan. The girl, the monkey and her mam danced in the kitchen before they went back to the huge zoo. In the months and years that followed, the girl would go and visit the monkey, and with a smile as big as a banana, she would give it green, juicy grapes, beautiful, sweet blueberries, and soft, salty tomatoes. The two of them would eat a rainbow every time she went, but they would cackle out loud when she thought about the monkey's hairy paw in her light blue cardigan pocket. The man was tall and strong and had been digging for jewels and treasure ever since he was a little boy. He wiped the sticky sweat from his short, spiky black hair and thought it was about time he got some new shoes. His heavy black boots made him feel tired every time he raised his feet to walk or push against the rusty spade in his broad hands. A small tear ran down the side of his round nose and fell on his new red shirt. It made it look darker, and he knew if he wanted to make enough money for new shoes, he would have to keep on digging. The sun scorched his skin, and he wished he had eaten something other than beans and sausages for his dinner. It was very heavy in his stomach, and he wished he had eaten something lighter and healthier. Something lighter and healthier to eat when he was working so hard at digging the sandy soil. Beans and chips and a McDonald's now and again, but not when you're having to work so hard. He was angry at himself and wished that he did eat a few more vegetables and a lot more fruit. Everywhere that you could look on the edge of the windy cliffs, you could see holes that he had dug over the long years. He raised and pushed his heavy spade into the hard soil, and it made a horrible scraping sound as it bit into the earth. He was digging beside the blood-red tower, and this was frightening him that its terrible wooden walls were casting a shadow over him. He had heard stories about the wicked witch who lived inside of the Crimson Tower, and he couldn't breathe because of the noise that was coming from the tower. It reminded him of old dry twigs being broken by a giant's footsteps. A small round splintered door creaked open, and in the doorway stood a small woman with a brilliant golden crown on her head. Before he had time to be frightened, she stepped up to him and spoke. "Thank you, thank you, thank you." Her voice was as sweet as honey. The smile on her face was not in the slightest bit frightening. "I have been so sad inside of the tower that I thought my heart would break into 1,000 pieces. I have everything I need inside of this tower here, but I need to have a friend in this world. She looked at him with eyes that were greener than the seaweed on the silvery shore, and she put her tiny hand into his strong fingers. Would you be my friend? Please? That morning, when he had gone out, he had wanted to find jewels and treasure, and now he had found himself being asked by a queen to be his friend. He knew that friends are better than gold, and did not wait for a moment to say, Yes, your majesty. Of course I will be your friend. He had not smiled like this for a long time, and in the time it had taken him to say yes. The queen had moved a round wheel by the side of the door and reached inside the cupboard that had opened. In her hand she had a sparkling golden bracelet that must have been worth 100,000 pieces of silver, and she gave it to him. Once again she spoke. Put this bracelet on your wrist, and you can wish for whatever you want, and you will have it. It made his head hurt to think of what he could possibly ask for first. He wanted and needed so many things. The queen looked at him and she smiled. It's easy. Just say, I wish for, and you will have it in the time it takes to sigh. He laughed out loud as he realised what it was that he really wanted. I wish that I could have. I wish that I could have. I wish that I could have some blueberries, some green melon, some ripe red apples, and the finest and sweetest oranges in the world for my new friend and me. The two of them ate the beautiful fruit and lived by the side of the roaring sea, and never needed another friend as long as they lived.